Curiosity is the first step to wisdom. And for some of us, it looks like this: open acres of land, the whispers in the wind, and a home that isn't just made to live in, but it's made so that you truly understand what peace feels like. And in today's video, my friends, we're gonna walk through this property with a little bit of curiosity, and we're gonna walk out of it with a little bit of wisdom. Let's begin. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Ocala, Florida, the horse capital of the world, and we have quite the beauty that we're gonna be taking a look at today. This is a custom-built home that features 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, 3,122 square feet of under-air living space, a 2-car side-facing garage with a nice long driveway, and we're gonna be situated on 12.67 acres of agricultural land, completely fenced in, completely cleared, and completely sodded. So this is gonna be one of those properties that really everything is gonna come in perfect condition, and that's what helps make these properties so convenient, right? You don't have to come in and clear some of the land. You don't have to come in and build a stable for your horses. We have that. Also, you're gonna have a private gated entrance. This is in a very small, tight-knit equestrian community that we're going to be talking about. Now, before we step inside and start having fun looking at this beautiful property and getting all the information, I think it's going to be good for you guys to have a very clear understanding on where we are located. So first and foremost, like I mentioned, we're in Ocala, the horse capital of the world. We're only 10 minutes away from HITS, and we're only 10 minutes away from the World Equestrian Centre. There are only 2 of them in the entire world, and one is only 10 minutes away. Not only that, we're gonna have Highway 200, which is where you're gonna find a lot of your daily needs. Your Publix, your Walmart, your Sprouts, Farmers Market. For me, I'm always looking, hey, where's the closest Chipotle? But Highway 200 is really gonna have everything you need in terms of entertainment, in terms of groceries, in terms of healthcare. If you're looking for a few fine dining options and alternative entertainment, I would recommend downtown Ocala. It's a beautiful place. It's very charming. Not what you'd expect in terms of other metropolitan cities. It's kind of like 3-4 blocks of different shops and restaurants, but really it's a great time if you're looking for some different type of food. And really one of my favorite places is Cantina Tex-Mex to go to a Mark's Prime Steakhouse. Now, one of the most underrated things Ocala has to offer is going to be a lot of the nature that it provides. Of course, there's a lot of farmland, then in certain areas there's a lot of development, but you're also going to have Silver Springs only 30 minutes away from here. You're going to have Rainbow Springs about 20 to 25 minutes away from here. And then you also have Crystal River about 35 minutes to 40 minutes away from here. So, you know, that's a place you could go all the way through the river and takes you out to the Gulf if you want. And that gives you a little breakdown here locally. Now, on a grander scale, we're about 1.5 hours from Orlando, Walt Disney World, Orlando Magic, and also a pretty charming downtown. I was born and raised in Orlando, so that's definitely a really popular and growing metropolitan city. And same thing with Tampa. Tampa, Florida is about 1.5 hours away. They have like those alternative professional sports teams that's really fun to visit. You know, they have NHL, they got the NFL, and then they have MLB. And what's cool about Tampa is they have Clearwater Beach 30 minutes west of them. That's probably one of the beaches that's most popular on the West Coast for people living in Central Florida. And then on the East Coast, you have the popular ones, Daytona and Cocoa, but the one that's really charming, beautiful, kind of like Ocala, but on the beach, it's gonna be called New Smyrna Beach. So highly recommend it for anybody out there. And then also, if you're making the drive from Miami, expect about 4.5 hours to get to this area of Ocala. And then Gainesville is only 45 to 50 minutes north of here. So it's kind of perfect if you want to be close to University of Florida, one of the highest rated universities in the entire country. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that gives you a good perspective on where we are located. Now, at the end of the video, I want to be as transparent as possible, give you all the information on the property, the HOA, how much it is, what are some options here, and what exactly can you do with this piece of land. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on the tour. Now, to get into this community, it is going to be gated entrance, and you're going to notice all of your neighbors are gonna have their horse stables. They're gonna have space to ride their horses. More than likely, they're training for upcoming events at HITS, at the World Equestrian Centre. There is gonna be strong equestrian energy on this property. Also, one thing to note is that this whole entire home is custom built. It's completely gated. And once you come into the entrance, you're gonna have a nice long driveway that leads to your 2-car garage. Now, the exterior architectural style of this home is gonna be that really beautiful modern farmhouse. Me personally, I love it, the touch it brings when you add this natural stone to the property on the base of the property, and also the pillars makes such a big difference, and also makes the rest of the house pop out. So maybe that's Italian in me that just loves seeing rock all over the home and natural stone. But truly, they did an incredible job. They do have a stable for 4 horses that we're gonna check out a little bit later as well. But for now, my friends, let's get inside. Okay, so here we are entering into the home, and immediately we land in the foyer. Now, below my feet, you're gonna notice the hardwood flooring. Above my head, you're gonna notice we're gonna have very tall ceilings throughout the entirety of this home. And it's gonna be a trend that you're gonna see in this property. The left-hand side, as soon as you walk in, this is gonna be our very first room slash, well, really this is a flex space, a flex room. Gonna be perfect for your office. Window facing the north side of the home. You are gonna have a closet space right over here. And another thing that you really don't see, especially in rooms or flex rooms or offices, is that they do have an outlet here in the middle of the floor. So I imagine this is where our desk is gonna be. It's gonna make it a little more convenient for you. Now we enter through, and this is the heart of the home, el corazón de la casa. And truly kind of takes your breath away in a way, because the first thing you're gonna notice as well is a natural light and just a beautiful piece of land that you're gonna have behind you and all around you. We land in the living room. This is where you get creative. You know, this is where you set it up in the way that you like. You're gonna have your electric fireplace, stacked stone to the top of the ceiling. And then you're also gonna notice vaulted ceilings in this space with the exposed beams going across. Now, when they were designing it, it's absolutely beautiful that they did this, because it just kind of brings that rustic vibe into this modern farmhouse. It's such an elegant touch that makes a big difference. Now, we enter into the kitchen. We're gonna have the 2-tone custom cabinetry. Here on the island, we're gonna have a lighter wood, and then it's gonna be a little bit darker here for the kitchen cabinets on the wall. Now, the island is spacious, looking into the living room. Behind me, you're gonna have this gas grill. And you know, this is something really you always wanna appreciate in Florida, regardless in custom homes and higher price homes, it is a bit more common, but in Florida as a whole, it's a bit uncommon to be able to get gas. So it's always a blessing when you get to see it. Tall ceilings with the crown molding, good choice of countertop in my opinion. I think we are maybe waiting on a bit of backsplash on this property. Again, this is dishwasher. You're gonna have your built-in microwave and stove, and then your KitchenAid fridge, and all of these appliances are KitchenAid. And then this is our pantry, all the custom cabinetry, table, cabinet space. Now, right across the kitchen, this is where we have our dining space. Now, my family, you know, growing up, I have a Roman Italian father and a mother from Caracas, Venezuela. So family was very important to us. And also at the end of the day, spending time together at the table. On a normal day, we would eat an arepa with cheese, with scrambled eggs, and with prosciutto crudo. That's how we kind of brought our Italian mix of arepas. And then if my dad was cooking, which was rare, I don't know, he used to do some sketchy pizzas on like gluten-free bread, which honestly, I was in love with them as a kid, but I think just like super simple stuff. Pasta con pomodoro, pasta aglio, olio y peperoncino, all that good stuff. But anyways, we got a nice chandelier here. And really what I love is you have so much natural light coming into the home and windows on both sides. And now, my friends, let's head into the primary bedroom. Now first, this east wing of the property, we're gonna have stairs that take us upstairs. We're gonna have a transition from the hardwood into this really elegant tile that is gonna bring you into the mudroom and also the laundry space. But this is where we enter into the primary bedroom. Now, abundance of natural light, tray ceilings with the crown molding, door that takes you out to the back porch, and really beautiful space here. This is where you can set up your California king bed, your nightstands, TV, not too shabby. This is your 8-foot barn door. I don't care what anybody says, barn doors are not out of style. They're so in, and I hope they stay in forever. Because anyways, we transition here into scattered ceramic tiles, just so you have an understanding. We are gonna have our standing tub here, ceramic going to kind of probably waist high, and then this is gonna be your private toilet, and then your walk-in glass enclosed shower with a nice frosted glass window to bring in natural light. Now follow me. This is our primary closet. Lots of cabinet space, makes it so much easier when you come into a home with all of this set in, so you don't have to wait on someone to come build it or put it in, or maybe it's not done right and you don't have a lot of space. Always super beneficial. Here we're gonna have a pocket door that's gonna take you into the laundry space. Whirlpool washer and dryer coming here. You're gonna have a sink, and then another pocket door that's gonna take you out, and then this is gonna be our mudroom and our garage. Now another thing, and I mean this is the thing with Florida, if you have windows, you're gonna get natural light because we have a lot of sunlight. But here, you know, it's nice when you have a garage and it's not just kind of like a vampire's room. You have 4 windows here facing the north side of the home. You're gonna have windows at the top layer of your garage door, electrical panels right over here. If this bad boy is coming with the property, I do not know, but what I do know in real estate is that everything's negotiable. So this is pretty cool, especially if you're gonna have this much land and you're gonna be maintaining the property. Okay, now stepping back into the home, this is when you're like, honey, I'm home. And then the mudroom, you throw your bag, your shoes, whatever. And then, you know, this was the primary. This is us getting back into the kitchen, dining space. But first, let's go upstairs. Great loft area, perfect for an office. If you have kids, you know they're taking over. Up here, this is where you're gonna have one of your air handlers, and then this is where you're gonna have your second air handler. So 2 air handlers here in this property, and then a nice loft area with a window looking out to the other farms, the beautiful mature oak trees and everything. So with that, let's get back downstairs, see the rest of the house. Coming in this way, this is gonna be the foyer. So if you come in, you know, you have your living space, but if you take your first right, this is gonna be the entrance into where you're gonna have 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Now you're gonna have 2 bedrooms, a half bath, powder room for the living room, and then a Jack and Joe bathroom. So first and foremost, this is gonna be the powder room with the granite, again, you know, the cabinets that you were seeing in the kitchen, the toilet, and the same ceramic flooring. And then you follow me this way right across, we're gonna have our first bedroom. Nice and spacious, probably about 12 by 11 feet. Window facing the north side of the home, and you can kind of look into the patio space, see the natural stone, see some of the horses. And then this is gonna be your walk-in closet, again with that custom cabinetry, which is nice. And then this is gonna be your pocket door. Then this is gonna be the entrance into the bathroom, transition and tile, same cabinetry, you saw a toilet, walk-in shower. And then this is gonna be the next room. This one feels slightly bigger. Again, I'm estimating around 12 by 11, 12 by 12 feet, 2 windows facing. This is gonna be west side of the property, and then your walk-in closet right over here. Now, if you follow me this way, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna keep going. And then here in the southwest corner of the home, we're gonna have a full bathroom, toilet, walk-in shower, ceramic going to the top of the ceiling. Quite elegant. You know, those are the touches you expect with custom, and you know, they definitely brought it. And then you're gonna have a door taking you out to your patio space. And then the last guest bedroom, this one's definitely bigger in size, and you have this flex space right here. Maybe a good desk area if your kids need to work. You got your fan fixtures, tall ceilings, 4 LED lights in here. And then for everybody curious, this is gonna be your custom cabinetry, or your closet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, follow me outside. Let's go take a look at the land. Now, something important with a lot of homes is, you know, you want to have people over sometimes, family, friends, and there's always something cool happening. So, you know, when you can have a property that kind of has that indoor-outdoor integration, your living room connects with the patio space, And especially in times like this, when we're in November, the weather is perfect. I think it's supposed to be in the 60s next week. You're gonna see all the Floridians with jackets, scarves, coats, beanies, face masks. You get the idea. You know, it gives you that extra level of connection through the house. Again, pillars with the natural stone. And this is the piece that that we talked about in the beginning of the video. If you really just stay silent, forget about your thoughts, forget about everything, forget about all the stimulation in our world. You're just left with the noise of the wind, the animals, the crickets, the birds. And no matter what, if you can shut off the noise, if you can shut off the stimulation, this immediately brings you a sense of peace. The land truly in itself is special. You're gonna notice a lot of bahia grass. Maybe some areas might have a bit of mix of St. Augustine grass, and those are things to consider. Now with this property, it is gonna have a septic tank, and also I do see a well over there, so I couldn't verify exactly on the MLS what the water source is, but once I see a well, you're getting well water from the Florida aquifer. Sometimes with wells, you can get tapped into the Rainbow Springs water. I've had a few properties here in Ocala that they had the cleanest spring water possible, but sometimes you just don't know. I don't want to promise it to anybody, but it is something that in certain areas in this area, you can kind of tap into that water, which is cool. Now this part is specifically for the horses. This is going to be your home tour. As you come in, first and foremost, to your right-hand side is where you're really gonna be washing the horses and taking care of them and grooming them. And then right in here, this is gonna be your tack room, kind of getting all of your hay in here, all of your food, all of the food for the horses, and just storing all the essentials that you need. And then you're gonna have where your horses stay, and we have 4 stalls for the horses. Also, a nice thing that they did is they did build it with concrete block, which is unique. You have a front and back entrance, and you do have a 30-year architectural shingle roof here as well. So even on these stables, it's nice and secure. So truly, ladies and gentlemen, this is a property in terms of your needs. This is a property that can meet quite a bit of them. Personally, if I'm just speaking from my heart about the property itself, the design of it, I kind of like the darker blue look with the natural stone. To me, it brings a level of elegance, but also that modern touch. And then also, if someone does want to have horses, this is always just so convenient. The land is cleared. When I built a home, it was so expensive to clear the land just because there were so many bigger oak trees on it. So I understand and value whenever someone does clear the land, especially builders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, kind of want to touch up on the final things. Now, the price of this home is $2.79 million, ladies and gentlemen. And ultimately for this level of land, the land itself could be worth anywhere from 800 to 1.2 million. So just think about the land itself, what you are getting, what you're paying for, and then of course the custom built home on it. You're right around those ranges, and this is perfect for somebody looking to come to Florida. They love the weather, they want the peace and quiet. You might not be about the equestrian scene, you don't have to be to get a property like this, but what you do get is all of that peace that comes with it, all of that privacy, and ultimately opportunity, because you have so much land here. You could build some structures. If we just look across the street, he built a whole very large pavilion, to roam around with his horses. Now you do need HOA approval if you want to build another structure or a home on the property, but I'm seeing quite some unique things around this community. The HOA monthly is $150 a month, maintains integrity of the community. You also have gated entrance and exit, which is a good touch. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Renzo Montiuti. I'm a real estate team leader here in the Central Florida area. And this is what we do. We go around the space, we look at investment properties, new homes, new construction, farms. We're here to offer the most amount of value to clients and also demystify the process of real estate. A lot of people think it's very complicated, or maybe they just haven't gotten the right information or right guidance, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to set ourselves apart, really give you the top of the line service, and we do it by 3 ways, right? Based off your specific needs, show you the best opportunities. The second thing is gonna be try and negotiate you the best possible deal, regardless if you're buying or selling. And then lastly, we're here to keep your money safe, show you the contingencies in place. If there is a risk involved, we're always going to let you know in great detail what to expect and how those things work. Also the process, we focus on customer service, making sure you guys have all your questions answered. And ultimately, I believe a confused mind is always going to say no. So if we can make everything as transparent, as clear as possible, that's where you're going to feel a bit more confident to understand which direction you need to go in. So guys, I love you all so much. If you want to learn more about this property, we have the link to our website below. If you want to contact us, maybe you're looking for a custom home, maybe not at this size, or maybe even something bigger, let us know. We'd be happy to pinpoint maybe the right lot, the right custom builder, just depending on your needs and what kind of experience you're looking for, and also what kind of final product you need. And then even if you guys are looking for something even with a quarter, half, 1 acre of land, you know, we have all the different spots and areas that we can recommend to you. I love you all so much. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.